Welcome. I'm Sam. I am checking in weekly to share a bit of the behind the scenes process of building a business from the ground up, teaching wilderness skills for women. Alrighty. So, some things I got to over this last week. Not a whole lot business wise, honestly, because I live in a van. I live in an awesome little Toyota Sienna that I did a build in. I put this beautiful flooring in, whatever. It broke down. I made it 11 hours away on a drive down to visit some family, and then almost all the way back up. I was within an hour of home, and it overheated, and I got it towed. We've been working on it, trying to get it to run again without overheating, and it is just not cooperating. So, being as I live in said van, I had to scramble to figure something else out, because with the head gasket issues going on in that van that I already know about, it just seemed like it got to the point finally where I was gonna have to put in way more money than it was worth to keep it running. So I got a new van. This one was already built out by the previous owners. They just used it as their traveling camper van. So I have a new Toyota Sienna. New. It's actually older than my other one, but so I moved in to the new to me van and I have been in there for about a week and a half, I want to say, in the new one. It's mostly going well, except that the van was sitting all winter and it smells so badly of mouse pee. So I've been working on that. I just can't turn the AC on when I'm driving. We don't get AC and we don't get heat. It's windows down when we're driving. It's much better when we're parked. The most of the smell seems to be coming from the air vents. I've been every single day spraying stuff in there to try to get rid of the smell. So that's been the drama of the week. Right after moving into the new van, I had to take a trip out to Maine, which is it was a 5-hour drive for me. And I kind of knew this was going to happen when I got the new van, because we're in New England, things rust out here, the van's been sitting for a while, and I knew the brakes were going to need to get replaced. Didn't necessarily intend to be driving back from Maine with brakes that were seized up, so that was nerve-wracking, but we made it back and we got the brakes replaced and they're working wonderfully now. So that was drama number 2. Otherwise, the week's been pretty good. I had consultations, so when I'm not teaching wilderness courses and working on putting together that business, I do some gardening on the side. I had consultations with 4 new clients last week, and they all seem really awesome, and I'm excited. They have beautiful gardens. I'm excited to work with them. So I had my 4 new client consultations, and actually I had another impromptu one, so I did end up having 5 new client consultations. So then after all those meetings, I sat down and wrote myself a new weekly schedule for work, for balancing, doing some gardening, working on putting together my courses, and hopefully also having some free days in the week to hang out with Wolfie and enjoy life. 'Cause that's why we're really here, right? So, got that new schedule. Another thing I got to this week was setting some goals for myself. I have been inspired by Natalie Dawson's podcast lately, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but she inspired me to set personal, professional, and financial goals. And so I was working on those using the SMART goal method to really just get them dialed in. And that was awesome. That feels good to be like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is what I need to do. Here's exactly how to make it happen in my personal life, in my professional life, and financially. Another thing I got to was posting my first YouTube video, and that was awesome because, so for context, social media and marketing is the hardest thing for me, and so much of marketing these days is happening via social media and online, and I just have such a hard time with computers and phones and getting myself to do that. So I was walking a couple days ago with Wolfie. We were just going for our evening walk, and I saw this tree that was perfect for making bow drill kits, which is something I need to do, is start making those bow drill kits for the course coming up in a couple weeks. And so that tree was perfect, and I was like, oh, not only is this a perfect tree, this is a perfect teaching opportunity. And so I just pulled my phone out. It probably took me less than 10 minutes to record and post that video, and I'm doing no editing. So it was super quick and easy, and that was so inspiring because social media has been such a hard thing for me. And if I could just have these super raw YouTube videos where I don't even have to edit them at all, mwah, yes, that is what I need. That's the kind of social media I need to be doing to get started here. So I'm hoping that these little, I don't know, what is this, a podcast, a vlog? Is this a vlog? I don't know why I hate that word. Whatever this is, my little weekly updates, I'm hoping can be similar, just record it and post it and no editing, to make that nice and easy. I had some highlights this week. Honestly, the YouTube video being so easy to post was one of those highlights. All the new clients that I met with, most of them are really awesome, and I'm really excited to start working with them. Some of them are going to work in the garden with me. Some of them are excited to learn about the plants in their garden and how to maintain it and keep it happy. So I'll be able to do a little bit of teaching here and there, do a little bit of working with other people here and there. And then I also just love the houses where they just have a beautiful garden, and I just get to put in my earbuds, listen to music or a podcast or an audiobook. Lately it's just been a lot of podcasts. And just weed and yeah, it's so relaxing. It's so nice. It's the flies are driving me a little bit crazy right now. So awesome new clients, super excited to work with them, super excited to work in their gardens. And another highlight this week was that I saw fireflies for the first time this year. 2 nights ago, I was like getting ready for bed in my van, and I've been leaving, like, I have Reflectix window covers that I put in the windows for sleeping, and I've been leaving the one off the back because when I lay down, I'm like, the back window is kind of just like right above my head, and so I can just look straight up and see the stars, and it's actually so nice to have that off. And it also helps me wake up in the morning because I park so that the back of my van with that open window is going to face the sunrise, and it helps me wake up in the morning because mornings are hard, okay? Mornings are so hard, and it's nice to like wake up early and get a little head start on the day. I love those days, but it's really hard for me to get there. So having like the sun just like in my eyeballs first thing in the morning really helps. And then, right, and I was talking about fireflies. So I was like getting ready for bed. I had my back window shade out so I could just like see, and I kept like seeing this light behind me. I'm like, why is somebody shining their flashlight at my van? That's so annoying. Like, I might have to put my window shade in. I was so annoyed at first. And then I saw it out of the corner of my eye again, and I like look back to see what it is, and then I just see like 3 little fireflies, boom, 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 just light up, and it made me so happy. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for getting annoyed. You guys are so cute. Yay for firefly season. Being from the West Coast, we like don't get fireflies out there, so fireflies are really exciting to me. I love them. So magical. And then another highlight this week was the last couple days I just like made a friend where I parked my car for the night, and he had his truck with his little tent on top, and we like made dinner together last night, and it was such a vibe, and like had some drinks. And then my other friend, who also lives in her little Toyota Sienna and parks near me, got back. She was on a trip for a week, and she got back last night very late, so that was awesome. The 3 of us were just like hanging out, chatting, whatever. So that was good. That was a good like just moment to like, just let it go and like hang out with good people after my action-packed, stressful last couple weeks that I've had dealing with van problems and traveling and all that stuff. So that was really awesome. I mentioned Natalie Dawson's podcast earlier. I just wanted to like touch on that a little bit more because she's been such a motivation to me lately. Her podcast is called Work Woman, and she talks a lot about like how to grow and scale your business, how to work with people, like dealing with employees and team members and such, and like how to make a good work environment for the people who work for you. So having her podcast be about like growing and scaling the business, not all of it is relevant to me at this point because I am like so early in the beginning stages. I haven't even run a course yet. So I'm just like working on like designing the course, figuring out how to market it, like all these little details, and I don't have anybody else working for me yet. I'm hopefully at some point in like the relatively near future, I can just hire somebody to do all the social media stuff for me. Just like part-time. Have somebody run my Instagram, Facebook page, YouTube, blah, 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 all that stuff. And because that is the part that is just, it takes so long for me to like, something simple like making an Instagram post. It just feels like it takes so long. It's like not even worth my time, because if I was working on something else, I could get so much done in that amount of time, and I'm just like, struggling and getting frustrated and having it take a really long time to do silly little things like posting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I got off on a tangent. Natalie Dawson's podcast, Workwoman, she inspired my personal, professional, and financial goal setting. And she's really inspiring me to like set up my systems now in a way that makes it easy for when I do want to grow this business and when I do want to hire other guides to help teach the courses and when I do want to hire a social media manager and stuff like that. Like, I'm setting systems in place so that even just for myself, like when I run a course, I'm working on the primary project I'm working on right now is putting together a week-long course, and it's very low on like material needs and such. So the idea is that this summer I have a resort. It's a mountain biking resort in the summer that they have space for me to run this course at. And in future years, I would love to like take this week-long course and just run it at lots of different resorts, maybe farms, places that have kids camps. I could like tailor it to kids. This year it is 18 plus for all of my courses, but I could definitely tailor it to working with kids. And yeah, just like travel around with this week-long course and teach it a bunch of times over the summer. So having it be like super easily replicable is gonna make that so much easier. And the way that I'm like formatting it and writing things down and keeping track of things, I'm basically trying to write it in a way that it's like, okay, this is the outline of what needs to happen to make this go how it's supposed to go. This is what needs to happen beforehand, this is what needs to happen during, and this is what needs to happen afterwards. And I'm writing it as if I'm just like writing it for somebody else to replicate this, but even though right now it's just for me. But it's just been like really awesome and inspiring to like set these systems up this way from the very beginning, so that when I do get to the point of like growing this business a little bit more, like it's gonna be so much easier. And yeah, so Natalie Dawson's podcast, Workwoman, super inspiring. For any other little entrepreneurs out there, definitely recommend her podcast. That's been mainly all I have been listening to for weeks now. Cool. So, this upcoming week, my primary goal is to make as much content as possible and get it posted everywhere. I'm off to a good start. I'm recording this right now. Yeah, I need to do a lot of marketing. I need to get the word out about the course that I'm running, because I have a session, the first session of the week-long Bushcraft course from June 30th to July 4th. So it's 5 days, Monday to Friday. We're gonna do so much awesome stuff, so much cool stuff. It's for women, so all my courses right now are women only. And I'm sure I'll fill you all in at a later date about my experience and how I got here to where I am now. But just a little bit of tidbit of context is that last year I spent 6.5 months living in a tent in the woods of northern Maine with a bunch of male veterans. And I did not have any female mentors. I did not have any female, like it was just all this very masculine energy. And I got inspired to like make that type of experience feel more accessible to women. And I think that there's a lot of women in the world who like would love to do this stuff and would love to learn these skills, but don't want to go strand themselves out in the woods with a bunch of men and just don't feel comfortable with that. And so I want to make it like a safe space for women to learn these awesome, amazing, life-changing skills. And like the confidence that came from that experience for me is absolutely life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. So, women's courses. For now, I'm working on bigger, longer courses in the future, but for this summer, I'm doing 1 week bushcraft course, and we're gonna do a lot of fire skills. We're gonna do wet weather fire making. We're gonna do work with bow drills and flint and steel. We're gonna do some basket weaving. We're gonna do a lot of plant ID. What else are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna do some leather working. We're gonna make a knife sheath. We're gonna get really good with our knives because that is a very important tool to be super comfortable with in this setting. Yeah. On that note, I clearly need to work on my sales pitch a little bit. So that's another one that I want to do this week, is I want to write myself just like a super clear sales pitch and be like, boom, 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 elevator pitch style, like quick and simple, but descriptive enough, because so many people are like, bushcraft? What's that? Everybody thinks I say witchcraft. Anytime I tell people like, oh yeah, I teach bushcraft courses, people are like, witchcraft? And it's just like, I get that so often. So I need to like have descriptive, quick, boom, boom, boom things to say so that people aren't like standing there looking at me like I'm some crazy witch that just hides in the woods and makes potions and puts spells on people. I mean, they're not necessarily wrong, but that's not what I'm trying to sell when I'm trying to sell my courses. So, yes, I need to write out a sales pitch, something that just like flows nicely so that I don't feel like... That's the other thing, is like I have such a hard time, and I think so many entrepreneurs and just so many people that have the ideas have a hard time being like, I want to sell my idea to you right now, like, you need this. It's like, oh, like I created this and it's awesome, but like, you know, like people get so nervous to sell their own stuff. And I need to get over that. And I think if I had something that was just like, okay, this is what I say, and I don't want to be pushy with my like sales pitch, but I need to have a sales pitch, because it doesn't come naturally to like try to sell my course. Like I get excited to talk about it and tell people like what I do, but then I'm like, oh, it's just a thing that I do, like whatever. So sales pitch, content, sales pitch. Yeah. I have my first work days at the new gardening clients' houses. So that is going to take quite a bit of my time this coming week, but I'm hoping to get a lot of work done on the bushcraft biz in between working in people's gardens. And then another thing that I want to get done this week is I would like to figure out a way to like organize my bank accounts for the new financial goals that I set. I gave myself a little budget, and I just want to like have a separate account or something where I just drop that amount of money in each week and make it super simple and easy for myself to follow this budget, because I'm trying to save money here, you know? Trying to make things happen. And unfortunately, we live in this capitalistic world where we need to make money in order to make things happen. So, yeah. That's what I got from my little corner of the woods over here. Um, I'm just like feeling super grateful for all the awesome friends and community around me, and like people have stepped in and taken such good care of me during my chaos times the last couple weeks. I would be in a really bad place if I didn't have this awesome little, and it's a small support system, but it is an awesome support system that I have out here. And I'm just like so grateful. So I want to just like leave it on that note. Like, thank you, wonderful people. Oh yeah. Alrighty. See y'all next week. I'm gonna try to be doing this every Friday. That's the day that I think makes sense to do this on. So I know today's not Friday. Today's Sunday. I was a little late to it this time, but I will be back on Friday with my next weekly update for you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.